Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Amy and Michael Halterman reconsider moving, can't abandon Tammy. Amy and Michael Halterman go for a walk in the park with Gage during the season 2 finale. Unfortunately, like just about everything else, they spend part of their time together discussing Tammy. Amy admits she wonders if she can ever just stop caring for Tammy and move on with her life. But fans of 1,000 pounds, sisters suspect she has far too big of a heart for that. So, what did Amy and Michael talk about? And how did it relate to Tammy? Keep reading for the scoop and spoilers. Amy and Michael Halterman want to move. But what about Tammy? We know Amy and Michael Halterman are itching to move somewhere bigger. They've had baby Gage. And we know Amy wants to have another child. She doesn't like the idea of Gage being an only child. But she also recognizes where they live is too small for a growing child. And it is way too small for a second child. This, however, presents a problem. What about Tammy? Amy Halterman and Michael more or less treat Tammy like she's their child from time to time. They get her groceries. They drive her everywhere. So what will happen to Tammy if Michael and Amy move somewhere new? Amy admits to Michael that she isn't ready to abandon her sister just yet. She wants to stop caring and start living her life. But she can't do it. It is clear Michael isn't super happy with the idea of staying for Tammy. He explains he would like to live a little closer to his job. But this is also a very sweet Manny who enjoys making his wife happy. So, he more or less makes it her decision. By the end of the episode, Tammy Slayton made the difficult decision to go into an assisted living facility. She can get therapy and help to control her diet. We also know she and Jerry broke things off. This definitely changes things for Amy and Michael Halterman. Fans are hopeful this means they can move and finally start living their life without being bound to Tammy. The season 2 finale of 1,000 pounds. Sisters airs tonight only on TLC. Those with a Discovery Plus subscription have been able to watch the final episode since a little after 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time this morning. While Tammy Slayton has given a small update on if a season 3 will happen, things remain unclear. Stick with us at TV Shows Ace for the latest 1,000 pounds, sisters news. Amy Slayton Halterman had always dreamed of starting fresh. A new home, a new chapter, a safe place for her boys to grow up without the chaos that used to fill every corner of her life. After months of talking about it, she and Michael finally found a house on the edge of Dixon, away from the gossip and constant cameras. It was peaceful, surrounded by big oak trees and quiet neighbors who didn't care about reality TV fame. But as they packed boxes and folded up memories, Amy couldn't ignore the feeling twisting inside her chest. Tammy Slayton, her older sister, had been through more in the last year than most people endure in a lifetime. From her near-fatal health scare to her incredible weight loss transformation and the loss of her husband Caleb, Tammy was still fragile. She was stronger than before, yes, but emotionally, she was walking a thin line. Amy had watched her sister fight for her life and claw her way back from the brink. And now, the thought of leaving her behind filled her with guilt. Michael didn't understand at first. "Amy, she's doing better," he said one night as they wrapped dishes in newspaper. "She's got her own place, her own car, and her own independence. You can't keep taking care of her forever." Amy sighed, tucking a plate into a box labeled kitchen. "I know that, but she's still my sister. What if she falls back into old habits? What if something happens and I ain't around?" Michael rubbed his jaw. "You've done everything you could for her. At some point, you gotta live your own life." Amy knew he was right, but knowing didn't make it easier. Over the next few days, as the house slowly emptied, Amy kept glancing at her phone, half expecting a call from Tammy. When it finally came, it wasn't what she expected. "Hey sis," Tammy's voice came through softer than usual. "Heard you and Michael are moving. Amy hesitated. "Yeah, we're thinking about it. Place outside town, quiet, you know." Tammy didn't say anything for a second. "That's good. You deserve that. But," her voice cracked slightly, "I'm gonna miss y'all." The weight in Amy's stomach grew heavier. "Tammy, we ain't moving to another planet. We'll still come by." "I know," Tammy said, "but it's not the same. You've always been right down the road. I could call you when I needed something. Or when I just wanted to talk. I ain't trying to guilt you, Amy, but I ain't ready to be alone again." Amy's eyes filled with tears. She could hear the vulnerability in Tammy's voice. The same tone she'd heard years ago when Tammy was at her lowest. The independence she'd worked so hard for was real, but so was her loneliness. That night, Amy lay awake thinking about everything they'd survived together. The hospital visits, the therapy sessions, the fights, the reconciliations. Tammy had lost Caleb only months ago, and though she tried to put on a brave face for the cameras, Amy could tell her sister was still grieving deeply. The next morning, Amy sat down with Michael over breakfast. "I can't do it," she said quietly, pushing her eggs around her plate. "Can't do what?" he asked. "Move. Not right now." Michael sighed, setting his coffee cup down with a soft thud. "Amy, we've already signed the papers. We've been planning this for months." "I know," she said, her voice trembling, "but I can't leave Tammy like this. Not after everything that's happened. She's actin' strong, but I know her. She's scared. And I can't just walk away and pretend she's fine." Michael looked at her for a long moment, his frustration fading into understanding. He'd seen how much Tammy meant to Amy, how their bond was more than just sisterhood. It was survival. After a long silence, he nodded. "Okay, we'll wait. Maybe a few months. Give her time to get her footing again." Amy's relief was instant. "You mean it?" "Yeah," he said with a small smile. "You're right. Family comes first." Later that afternoon, Amy drove over to Tammy's place. She found her sister sitting on the porch, scrolling through her phone, a Diet Coke balanced on the armrest. "Well, if it ain't my favorite little sister," Tammy said with a grin. "Funny, I'm your only little sister," Amy teased, plopping down beside her. They sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching the wind move through the trees. "I talked to Michael," Amy finally said. "We decided not to move." "Not yet." Tammy's head whipped toward her. "What? Why?" Amy shrugged. "Because I can't leave you right now. You're doing amazing, Tammy, but I know you're still huttin'. I want to be close in case you need me." For a moment, Tammy didn't speak. Her eyes shimmered with tears. She tried to blink away. "Amy, you don't have to do that. I ain't a baby anymore. I can take care of myself." "I know you can," Amy said softly. "But being strong don't mean you gotta do it alone." Tammy smiled, her lips trembling. "You're something else, you know that? I was just startin' to get used to the idea of you being gone."